Why do you keep staring at your textbook, heart racing, knowing you're this close to giving up? You're not lazy, you're not stupid. But that voice in your head screaming, you're behind, you're failing, you're drowning in deadlines, it's louder than ever. Every Gen Z student feels this. The suffocating weight of procrastination, the burnout that creeps in like a thief, stealing your focus, your energy, your dreams. You want to learn like a genius, to ace your exams, to feel unstoppable, but how? When you're barely holding it together. Here's the truth, you're not broken. You're just learning the wrong way. In this video, I'm going to walk you through a battle-tested system to crush your studies, silence that inner chaos, and learn like a genius without burning out. Stick with me, because your transformation starts now. The myth of the perfect student. You've been lied to. You think a genius student is someone who sits down, opens their laptop, and magically absorbs everything like a sponge. No distractions, no doubts. Just pure, effortless focus. Wrong. That perfect student, they don't exist. Even the straight-A kids you envy are battling the same demons you are. Procrastination, fear of failure, that gnawing feeling they're not enough. The difference isn't talent, it's strategy. Let's get real. You probably spent hours scrolling TikTok, telling yourself you'll start studying in 5 minutes, only to look up and realize it's 2 a.m. Your brain feels like a browser with 47 tabs open, each one screaming for attention. Sound familiar? That's not a flaw, it's your brain begging for a better system. The truth is, learning like a genius isn't about grinding harder or being born with a supercomputer brain. It's about working smarter, using tools that align with how your mind actually works. Here's the first big shift. Stop chasing perfection. That voice telling you, if I can't study for 8 hours straight, I'm a failure, it's lying. Geniuses don't study longer, they study better. They hack their focus, prioritize what matters, and protect their energy like it's gold. Take Einstein. He didn't cram for 12 hours a day. He took naps, played the violin, and let his mind wander. Why? Because he knew creativity and clarity come from a rested brain, not a burned out one. So, what's the first step to learning like a genius? Accept the mess. You're gonna have bad days. You're gonna procrastinate sometimes. That's not failure, that's being human. The trick is building a system that works with your chaos, not against it. The focus hack that changes everything. Picture this. You're sitting at your desk, ready to study, but your phone lights up with a notification. Your brain itches to check it. You resist for a second, but then ping another one. Before you know it, you're doom scrolling and 30 minutes vanish. Sound like your life? Here's the hard truth. Your focus isn't broken, it's just untrained. But there's a hack that geniuses use to lock in like a laser, and it's simpler than you think. It's called the 5-minute commitment. Forget those 4-hour study marathons you're dreading. Just tell yourself, I'm going to study for 5 minutes. That's it. Set a timer. Put your phone face down and start. Why does this work? Because starting is the hardest part. Your brain throws tantrums when you ask it to tackle big, vague tasks like study biology. But 5 minutes, it can handle that. And here's the magic. Once you start, you'll usually keep going. Momentum kicks in and suddenly you're 20, 30, even 60 minutes deep. But let's be honest, your brain's still going to fight you. That's why you need a focus fortress. Clear your desk of everything except what you need. Notebook, pen, laptop. No snacks, no fidget toys, no distractions. Turn your phone to Do Not Disturb and bury it in a drawer. If you're tempted to check social media, use a site blocker like Freedom or Cold Turkey. This isn't about willpower, it's about removing the traps your brain falls into. Here's the emotional kicker. Every time you win those 5 minutes, you're proving to yourself you're in control. Not your phone, not your anxiety, you. That's what geniuses do. They stack small wins until they feel unstoppable. And the best part? This hack protects you from burnout. You're not forcing yourself to grind until you collapse. You're building a habit that grows stronger every day. Try it right after this video. Pick one task, maybe a single math problem, or one page of notes. Commit to 5 minutes. You'll be shocked at how easy it feels to start and how good it feels to keep going. Rewire your brain to remember everything. You've probably had this moment. You study for hours, highlighter bleeding through the page, only to sit in the exam and poof, it's gone. Your brain betrays you, and you're left panicking, wondering why you even bothered. Here's the deal. You're not bad at learning. You're just using the wrong tools to make it stick. Geniuses don't memorize, they connect. And there's a simple trick to rewire your brain to remember like a pro. It's called active recall. Instead of passively rereading notes or watching lecture videos on repeat, you force your brain to retrieve information. Close your book, grab a blank sheet of paper, and write down everything you remember about a topic. No peeking. It's messy, it's hard, and you'll feel like you're failing at first, but that struggle is where the magic happens. Your brain strengthens neural connections every time you pull information out, not when you shove it in. Here's how to do it. After a study session, take 5 minutes to quiz yourself. Ask, what were the main points of that chapter? Or, what's the formula for photosynthesis? Write or say the answers out loud. If you get stuck, check your notes, but don't just explain it in your own words. This isn't just studying, it's training your brain to perform under pressure, like an athlete prepping for game day. Why does this feel so hard? Because it exposes your gaps. That's the point. Those moments of, I don't know this, are your brain signaling what needs work. Embrace them. Geniuses don't avoid struggle, they lean into it. And here's the emotional payoff. Every time you nail an answer, you're building confidence. You're telling yourself, I've got this. That's the opposite of burnout's empowerment. Pro tip, pair active recall with spaced repetition. Review what you learned today, then again in 2 days, then a week later. Use apps like Anki or Quizlet to make flashcards. But don't just flip through them, test yourself without cues. This combo locks knowledge in your long-term memory, so when exam day hits, you're not sweating, you're owning it. The study rhythm that beats burnout. You're finally focused. You're recalling information like a champ. But here's the trap. You push too hard, study for hours without a break, and suddenly you're staring at your notes, brain fog rolling in like a storm. You're exhausted, irritable, and ready to quit. Sound familiar? Geniuses don't just study smarter, they study sustainably. The secret? A rhythm that keeps your energy high and burnout at bay. Enter the Pomodoro technique, but with a twist for Gen Z chaos. Work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. After 4 cycles, take a longer 15-minute break. But here's the key. Make those breaks intentional. No scrolling Instagram, that's a dopamine trap that'll leave you more drained. Instead, stand up, stretch, grab some water, or close your eyes and breathe. Why does this rhythm work? Your brain isn't built for marathon focus, it thrives in sprints. Studies show attention peaks around 20-30 minutes before it dips. By working in short bursts, you're riding that peak and giving your mind time to reset before it crashes. This isn't just about productivity, it's about protecting your mental health. Burnout comes from ignoring your limits, but this rhythm respects them. Here's how to make it yours. During your 25 minutes, focus on one task. Not study chemistry, but solve these 5 problems or summarize this 1 page. Specificity kills procrastination. Use a timer app like Forest to stay accountable. It's gamified, so it feels less like a chore. And during breaks, move your body. Even a quick dance to your favorite song boosts blood flow and mood. You're not a robot, you're a human with a body that needs to move. The emotional win? This rhythm makes studying feel doable. You're not staring down an endless grind, you're tackling one small chunk at a time. Each Pomodoro you finish is a victory, a reminder you're stronger than your excuses. And because you're resting strategically, you're dodging the burnout that's been stalking you. Try it today. 1 25-minute sprint, 1 clear task. You'll feel the difference. Prioritize like a pro to crush overwhelm. You're juggling a million tasks, assignments, exams, projects, and it feels like you're drowning in a sea of deadlines. You try to do everything, but end up doing nothing, paralyzed by the sheer weight of it all. Sound familiar? Here's the secret geniuses know. You don't need to do everything. You just need to do the right things. Prioritizing isn't about working harder, it's about working on what moves the needle. Let's break it down with the Eisenhower matrix. Picture a 2x2 grid. Urgent versus not urgent, important versus not important. Your goal? Focus on what's important, but not urgent. That's the study material that builds long-term mastery, like understanding core concepts over the busy work that feels pressing but doesn't matter, like rewriting notes for the aesthetic. Urgent and important? Do it fast, like a looming deadline. Not important? Ditch it or delegate it. Here's how to apply it. Grab a piece of paper and list every task on your plate. Be honest, include that urgent group chat reply you're stressing about. Now, sort them into the 4 boxes. You'll be shocked how much of your stress comes from not important tasks stealing your energy. Geniuses don't waste time on low-impact work. They zero in on what drives results. For example, studying past exam questions, important, not urgent. Trumps color-coding your planner, not important, not urgent. Why does this hit so hard emotionally? Because overwhelm isn't just about time, it's about feeling out of control. When you prioritize, you're taking the wheel back. You're saying, I decide what matters. That's empowering. It's you telling the chaos you don't own me. And it protects you from burnout by cutting the clutter that drains your soul. Here's the practical move. Every night, take 5 minutes to plan tomorrow. Pick your top 3 tasks, the ones that'll make the biggest difference. Maybe it's reviewing a key chapter, practicing one math concept, or outlining an essay. Write them down and commit. If you do nothing else tomorrow, do those 3. Everything else is bonus points. This isn't just time management, it's life management. You're not a victim of your to-do list anymore. Silence your inner critic, 300 words. That voice in your head, the one whispering, you're not smart enough, or you'll never catch up. It's a liar. Every Gen Z student hears it, especially when you're staring at a bad grade or a looming deadline. It's not just doubt, it's a bully, stealing your confidence and pushing you toward burnout. Geniuses don't ignore this voice, they reframe it. Here's how to shut it down. First, name the critic. Call it the jerk or doom brain. Labeling it makes it less scary, like exposing a monster under the bed. When it speaks, talk back. If it says, you're failing, counter with, I'm learning and that's enough. This isn't fluffy self-talk, it's rewiring your brain to focus on progress, not perfection. Studies show negative self-talk spikes stress hormones while reframing builds resilience. Next, track your wins. Keep a small notebook or note on your phone where you jot down one thing you did well each day. Maybe you finished a Pomodoro or nailed a quiz question. These aren't just tasks, they're proof you're capable. That critic thrives on your failures, so starve it with evidence of your strength. Finally, embrace good enough. You don't need a perfect essay or a 100% score to be a genius. Done is better than perfect, and every step forward quiets that voice a little more. This protects you from burnout by lowering the pressure you put on yourself. Stay consistent without losing your spark. 300 words. You've got the tools, focus hacks, memory tricks, prioritization, but here's the real challenge, sticking with it. You start strong, motivated, but a week later you're back to procrastinating, feeling like you've failed again. Geniuses aren't perfect, they're consistent. They build habits that keep their spark alive, even on rough days. Here's how you can too. First, anchor your study habit to a trigger. Pick something you already do daily, like brushing your teeth or grabbing coffee. Right after, commit to one 5-minute study task. This habit stacking wires your brain to see studying as automatic, not a chore. It's not about willpower, it's about routine. Over time, that 5 minutes becomes 25, and you're studying without the mental tug-of-war. Next, gamify it. Gen Z thrives on rewards, so make studying feel like a game. Set a goal like finishing 3 Pomodoros and reward yourself with something small, like 10 minutes of your favorite show. Here's the emotional truth. Consistency builds trust in yourself. Every day you show up, even for a little, you're proving you're not a quitter. That's huge when you're fighting academic pressure and self-doubt. Burnout comes when you feel like you're running on empty, but small, steady steps keep your tank full. Try this. Pick one trigger today, like after breakfast, and pair it with a 5-minute study task. Track it for a week. You'll feel the momentum build. Grab a pen and write down one thing you'll do today, maybe a 5-minute study sprint or sorting your tasks with the Eisenhower matrix. You're not lazy or broken. You're a genius in the making, and these tools are your launch pad. So, promise yourself, no more excuses. Start messy, start small, but start. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for more tips to level up your study game. Drop a comment below. What's the one task you're tackling today? Share it, and let's hold each other accountable. Your journey to learning like a genius starts now. Go crush it, you've got this.